Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to make a video which I have been the most excited to make, the most horrified, scared and terrified to make, and which is also probably going to leave me the most tired that I have ever been. You name the emotion and I probably have had it thinking about making this video, right? It's been a very long time in the making, probably since I was about 3 to 4 years old. I am 24 right now, so you could say this is 20 years in the making. Just like a heads up, if you ever thought that there can never be too many books, probably this video is going to challenge that because there's a lot of books. But I still don't. I still think that there's too less shelves, which is like case in point over here, and not too many books. However, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be rolling a lot of things into one. I am going to be showing you all of the physical books that I own, going towards making a library. And just fun fact, a library, in case you didn't already know, is a minimum 1,000 books, which is something I'm building towards, hopefully inshallah in the future, very soon. Fingers crossed. So we're going to be doing that, and I'm also going to be charting out my physical TBR in preparation for a long awaited from my side, I know nobody asked, but long awaited from my side TBR takedown series. So we're going to be looking at all the books on my bookshelf. We're going to be doing a TBR not TBR takedown, but like physical TBR charting, and also we're just going to be having a really fun time overall, inshallah. I thought that what I would do is that the books that I have read, I'm going to place in this really like tiny shelf. And then the other ones, the ones that are going to be part of the TBR takedown, I'm just going to place along the walls. Okay, let's start with the easiest one. The ones which I started in my childhood, which are going to be Enid Blyton, all Enid Blyton's books, Roald Dahl's books, Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys. I think that's about it, yeah. So let's get started. So starting with Enid Blyton's books, I have a lot of there are these and other stories, right, that Enid Blyton used to have. So starting with the hardcovers, we have The Ugly Scarecrow, The Enchanted Shoes, Big Eyes the Enchanter, The Magic Clock, The Magic Needle, Look Out for the Elephant, The Sneezing Dog, The Magic Snowbird, The Brave Toy Soldier, The Enchanted Umbrella, The Snow White Pigeon. Okay, moving on to the paperbacks that I have. We have The Fairy Shoemaker, Sneezing Powder, The Enchanted Bellows, The Walkaway Shoes, The Little Brown Bear, The Little Lost Hen, The Rabbit's Whiskers, The Flyaway Money, Pretty Star the Pony, The Little Brownie House, Snicker the Brownie, The Little Witch Dog, The Pig with Green Spots, The Teddy Bear's Tale, Well Really Mr. Twiddle, The Secret Door. Then we have a few which don't have their covers anymore. So we have Three Bold Pixies, The Forgotten Canary, The Cat with a Feathery Tail, and The Tower in Ho-Ho Wood. Then we have these 5 o'clock tales, 6 o'clock tales, 7 o'clock tales, and 8 o'clock tales. Alright guys, then I have two of The Secret Island, but they're both different. So one is just The Secret Island as Enid Blyton wrote it, and the second one is it was specially written for TV, so it's more like not really a script, but it's more like a script, you could say. And then I have The Riddle of the Boy Next Door, More Adventures on Willow Farm, and then I have the Naughtiest Girl series. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Naughtiest Girl series, which means I need more. I have The Naughtiest Girl as a Monitor, The Naughtiest Girl in School, The Naughtiest Girl Helps a Friend, Well Done, The Naughtiest Girl, Naughtiest Girl Wants to Win, and Naughtiest Girl Marches On. I also have one of the Adventurous Four, and I also have The River of Adventure and The Sea of Adventure. I'm pretty sure I have one more too, The Ship of Adventure. Then I have, surprise, the Secret 7 and Famous 5 series. So I have about 15 of the Famous 5, 5 on a Treasure Island, 5 go to Smuggler's Top, 5 on Cairn Island again, 5 fall into adventure, 5 go down to the sea, 5 have plenty of fun, go to Demon's Rocks, have a mystery to solve, on Finiston Farm, go to Billycock Hill, on a hike together, run away together, on a secret trail, get into a fix, and 5 go off to camp. For the Secret 7, I have about 12 books. I've got Lookout Secret 7, The Secret 7, the short story collection, Well Done Secret 7, On the Trail, Go Ahead, Good Work, Secret 7 Mystery, Puzzle for the Secret 7, Secret 7 Fireworks, Good Old Secret 7, and Shock for the Secret 7. Okay, then I have some school books. I've got 5 books of the Mallory Towers. The first one I've lent to my sister, so it's not here right now. But that's the first form at Mallory Towers. Then I have second form, third year, in the 5th. I don't have fourth form. And then last term at Mallory Towers. More school ones. I have the twins at St. Clair's, second form at St. Clair's, Claudine at St. Clair's. It's actually a really pretty cover. It's destroyed. And then I have fifth formers at St. Clair's. And then I have the Wishing Chair series. I have the Adventures of the Wishing Chair, the Wishing Chair again, the New Adventures of the Wishing Chair, and finally more Wishing Chair stories. And to top it off, last but not least, I have an Enid Blyton treasury, which has just a lot of really, really beautifully illustrated short stories. So I can show you a few more. Oh, look at this. It's so pretty. Look at this. This was a steal. I got it at a thrift store practically for free. Anyways, I'm saying last but not least because who knows in all the other books, and I'm just going to show you another Enid Blyton one pops up. And so yeah, I was thinking that I'm probably not, of course, going to be getting any more Enid Blyton books for quite a long time right now because I'm focusing on growing my library, expanding more with like contemporary books, more classics, more, actually trying to read more mystery, more thriller. So getting that as well as more romance because I saw that even though I have obsessively watched almost all of the old rom-coms on cinema, basically, like films, but I have not read enough rom-com literature or romanticy or romantic literature or whatever. So I'm also going to be going towards that. But however, I thought that I have so many Enid Blyton books, and these are the ones that they were actually my education when I was a toddler. Even I started reading Enid Blyton and other stories books from when I was, I believe, maybe about 3.5, 4, around that age. I started reading. My aunt was a librarian, and my parents really encouraged my reading, and my aunt used to send me like boxes worth of books to read, and they were usually Enid Blyton books. But I thought that I could just save these for my future children, inshallah, for their education, and then when they're here, hopefully we can extend our communal library by getting more Enid Blyton books as well. This has probably taken up the fair part of the video. Oh, and I've not yet read the Enid Blyton Treasury. That's why I placed it over there, where I'm going to be placing my TBR. I'm probably going to move this along. But yeah. Okay, guys, we are finally into the wonderful body of work from Roald Dahl. So I have Boy Tales of Childhood and The Companion, Going Solo, A Sweet Mystery of Life, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, Matilda, Ladderless Window Cleaning Animals, The Giraffe and the Paley and Me, The Witches, George's Marvelous Medicine, The Twits, Danny the Champion of the World. Amazing book. It's just like really, when I think of this book, I think of like a hot chocolatey drink on a cold winter night. But it's not cold, it's like cozy. You're like wrapped up in a blanket, drinking your hot chocolate, which is basically Danny the Champion of the World. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing story that everyone needs to read themselves as well as read to their children. Then we have Fantastic Mr. Fox, strangely scary and like a thriller. James and the Giant Peach, The BFG, SEO Trot, and then I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. And then a really recent acquisition of mine was a illustrated copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I would also like to show you maybe a couple of illustrations from within here. Even like, oh my god guys, even like when you open up the jacket, the title page, oh wow, look at that. That is amazing. Whoa, check that out. All the candies you could possibly ever dream of. So we have Augustus Gloop and his mom, Veruca Salt and her parents. We have Violet Biergard, and then we have Mike Tiwi, of course, on the TV. And we have our own little Charlie, who looks exactly like we thought he would. Anyways, yeah. So I have an illustrated copy, which I have not yet gone through, not read, but of course, since I have already read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so I am going to put this in the already read pile. Okay, now we are going to move into the detective stories that I grew up with that made me want to become a spy, basically, apart from watching Spy Kids. These are the books, right? So I have about 10 of the Nancy Drew stories. I have The Case of Capital Intrigue, The Case of the Lost Song, In Search of the Black Rose, The Mystery of the Jade Tiger, A Taste of Danger, Danger on the Great Lakes, The Mistletoe Mystery, The Secret of Shady Glen, The Case of the Vanishing Whale, and The Legend of the Emerald Lady. I probably read a lot of other Nancy Drew books too, but I read those ones online. Okay, then I have like 23 of the Hardy Boys. So I have The Emperor's Shield, The Pacific Conspiracy, Sheer Terror, Darkness Falls, Collision Course, Without a Trace, The Secret of the Caves, Hostages of Hate, The Mystery of the Melted Coins, In Self-Defense, Frame Up, Sabotage at Sea, The Yellow Feather Mystery, The Mystery of the Whale Tattoo, Blood Relations, The Tower Treasure, Wild Wheels, Rough Riding, Flesh and Blood, Countdown to Terror, The Crisscross Shadow, The Secret of the Old Mill, and The Veiling Siren Mystery. Now, a couple of these I have not read, probably 2 or 3. I'm going to sort out which ones those are and place those appropriately right there. Moving into the romance section, I have I have about 7 of the Nora Roberts books. So I haven't really read all of these, a few maybe, but not all. So I've got Rising Tides, One Man's Art, Summer Deserts, Inner Harbor, Montana Sky, which is one I tried to read once, but I was not in the mood for it at that point and I DNF'd it. But I'll probably get around to it in the future. And then I have Cordina's Royal Family, which I found at my late maternal grandfather's house, and I took it because I love books. Anyways. And then I have True Betrayals. I have only read 2 of these, the shortest ones, and the other 5 are going to go into my physical TBR. Then I have about 10 Nicholas Sparks books. I have A Bend in the Road, 2 of, for some reason, A Walk to Remember. I will say I have read this book and I read it after watching the movie. And I believe this is one of about 2 or 3 books in my life, which when I read them, the movie was way better. And that's the case with A Walk to Remember. I wouldn't say it's like really bad, but the movie is definitely very better. But for some reason I have 2 copies. The Notebook, The Choice, Dear John, very nice book, The Wedding, At First Sight, Message in a Bottle, and finally The Rescue. Again, I've only read like two of these, A Walk to Remember and Dear John. I can't remember if I read the Notebook or not. But basically I'm just gonna move the rest of the 7 into the TBR pile, which is, as we can see, growing nicely. Alright, now something that you all knew was gonna come is the Jane Austen books, and I'm missing Mansfield Park. I think I had a copy of it once, but I lost it somewhere over the years. So I have Pride and Prejudice, very appropriately hyped, I might say, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, Emma, and finally I have Northanger Abbey. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to guess which is my favorite Jane Austen book. No, it is not Pride and Prejudice, and no, it is not Sense and Sensibility. It is Persuasion. I did not like the movie. And then my second favorite Jane Austen book is Northanger Abbey. For Persuasion, I even have like annotated it a little bit. And this edition has a really nice bonus chapter, which was, I'm not sure if it was published posthumously or not, but it was a cancelled chapter. It even says cancelled chapter. And it was substituted by 2 other chapters, which I thought was a really nice kind of tidbit of information. And then Sense and Sensibility is my third favorite, and then what am I saying? Sorry, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice, although really nice, is my fourth favorite. I tried to read Emma, but I did not like it, and I DNF'd it. I obviously will have to read it at some point, especially since I'm planning on doing like reading all the works of an author like one by one chronologically. I'm planning on doing those sort of videos, or just like, you know, those sort of, not even just videos. I want to like actually just go deep into it and study it. Since I didn't get to do my bachelor's or my master's in like English literature. Plus I think if I do that, it would be like, it would limit me, you know, put these sort of constraints on me where I have a reading list that I have to go through, and where I have certain essays that I have to write, certain things that I have to research. And I will be doing those for the grades rather than, you know, for the heck of it, for the fun of it. So I'm going to be reading Emma, but I didn't like it. And then I believe I once started Mansfield Park as well, but I didn't like that as well. So I have read these 4 and enjoyed them immensely. And the other 2 are going to go in my TBR. But for my physical TBR, I guess just Emma for now. Then we have these 5-day Tales from the Cafe series. I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, Before Your Memory Fades, Before We Say Goodbye, and Before We Forget Kindness. Now I've heard that these ones are a little bit overhyped, but I did start reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I liked it. The writing was a little bit different, not as, I would say, flowy or as, you know, like easy to read, easy to get into, but it was definitely not, it was not bad. I could enjoy it. I could just go through all of these once. Alright, then guys, I have the 5 inheritance games. The inheritance games itself, the Hawthorne Legacy, the Final Gambit, the Brothers Hawthorne, Games Untold, and then I have the 2 Glorious Rivals and The Grandest Game. I have to read all of these. Just recently ordered them. Now we are going to move into a portion of books which I don't really, I didn't necessarily see myself like reading these or enjoying these till a while ago, and I still hold a little bit of contempt for them, but I think I'm maybe starting to get a little bit into them, which is the self-help book section. So I have Surrounded by Idiots, The Psychology of Money, Start with Why, Attitude is Everything, The Art of Reading Minds, Ikigai, Deep Work, The Art of Being Alone, Thinking Fast and Slow, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and one which I didn't enjoy, which is going to shock you guys, and I DNF'd, but I'll get to it, okay. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Live Life in Crescendo. Then I have a self-help book, which I have completed, but which I'll still put in my TBR pile because I'm just reading it again right now and, you know, trying to like make notes. And this is one which I actually like really enjoyed, which is Atomic Habits. And I'm also thinking of maybe getting the Power of Habit, is it, by Charles Duhigg, I think? Yeah, I'm also thinking of getting that. Along those lines, not so much self-help books, but I maybe count them a little bit maybe within that. So we have The Art of War, which I've read, and I've also annotated it, but I would like to read it again as well, right? I think I can put it in my read books, but I want to read it again. Then we have a book which I DNF'd. Again, this is going to be a shocker to you guys, but I did not like it. It's possible that I'm never going to read this, but it's so short that I might give it a try. But anyway, that is Siddharth by Herman Hesse. Then I have, again, for some reason, 2 copies of Man's Search for Meaning. I'm going to get to this one soon too. Next, I have the Divergent series, Insurgent, Allegiant, and even 4. But I don't have Divergent. But I have read it, yeah. So you can count that too. Then we have, again, one which, unpopular opinion, that I did not enjoy is The Alchemist. I just thought it felt a little bit very, I don't know, very cliche, like stuff that I already knew and stuff that, sometimes there's books where there's stuff that you already know, but that when you see it in that light, it really surprises you and, really gives you like food for thought and you really enjoy it. But 2 books I believe I've read do not go along with that concept. One is The Alchemist, and the second one, although I don't have a physical copy of it, but that's Tuesdays with Morrie. I didn't enjoy those, yeah. Let's now go through some books that give me a similar vibe, but they're maybe romance books, you can say. Oh, wow, no, I see one over here which is definitely not a romance book, but somehow they give me kind of like the same vibes. So we start with a duology which I have not exactly read yet, but I did start. We have It Ends With Us, and then It Starts With Us. And then I have these 2. I'll give you the sun. The sky is everywhere. Also, guys, oh my god, these covers look so cute. When, like placed like that together, very aesthetic. When I said like 2-3 books which, for which the movies are better, it was A Walk to Remember, The Life of Pi, ugh, that book, and then also Eat, Pray, Love. I have tried and failed to read Eat, Pray, Love about 3 or 4 times. Okay, then John Green books. I have Looking for Alaska, Turtles All the Way Down, 5 Feet Apart. Yes, I have read The Fault in Our Stars. I just gifted that copy to a friend of mine a long time ago. Maybe I'll get it again, but it's I didn't enjoy it as much as some people do. However, I started to grow like not that fond of John Green until I saw their vlog brothers, Hank Green and John Green, and until I saw John Green and Hank Green's that show. Why can't I remember? Where you like eat your last meals, right? From the Red and Link series, the Mystery Kitchen. Oh my god, can't believe I don't remember that. Anyways, until I saw that and I saw what just profound individuals Hank Green and John Green are, and now I want to read everything of theirs, so I'll do that soon too. Then I have All the Bright Places, very, very normal. I have one which I really enjoyed, which is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. However, I did start to read another Rainbow Rowell book online. I don't remember which one. The girl was a writer. Probably the Soul for Books. I don't know. But I started to read it online, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. Okay, then I have It Only Happens in the Movies. This was a nice book. I started the manifesto on how to be interesting, but I DNF'd it. Didn't find it that interesting. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read it again. Okay, now this is the one which I saw and I immediately thought, no, that's not a romance book. I was just saying these are gonna be romance books. Anyways, this is an amazing book. It's called Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. It's probably one of my, I haven't really ever said this before, but it's probably one of my favorite books. It was very one of a kind, very sad. Okay, then I have The Sun is Also a Star. I didn't enjoy this very much. However, Everything, the other book of this author, that one I read online and that one was very nice. Okay, then I'm also seeing over here that I also have Paper Towns by John Green. This is also one that I enjoyed a lot. Then I have After You by Jojo Moyes. And next, guys, I have another author which I confuse with Jojo Moyes. I actually just think for some reason I have this premonition that I'm not going to enjoy either of these. But after that I have Gail Forman. So I have If I Stay, just one day and just 1 year, I think I'm not gonna be enjoying these books. I don't know why, I just feel like it. But let's move on to The Vampire Diaries, The Return. No, this is The Return Shadow Souls, and this is The Return Midnight. Then I have The Fury plus The Reunion, and I also have The Return Nightfall. Now I have the Game of Thrones. I have a Game of Thrones, and I have a Clash of Kings. However, I once started these and I remember I didn't enjoy it that much. Okay, you guys, let's move on to some fantasy. I have a few of Cassandra Clare's books. I have multiple copies of those, but this time there's a reason for that. So I have the Lord of the Shadows and Lady Midnight, which are both books that I have not read yet. Then I have the Mortal Instrument series, which I have read, yes. Hear me out, guys. Okay, I'll tell you why I have more copies than one. I have City of Heavenly Fire. Not a good cover, right? And then I have City of Fallen Angels. Okay? I don't have the rest in these covers, even though I have read them online. Anyways, the reason why I have City of Moons, City of Lost Souls, City of Fallen Angels is because I found in a very, again, it was sort of a thrift shop, and I didn't find all of them, but I found 1, 4, and 5, and I found them in this beautiful continuation, you see, of the of the covers, right? It's so beautiful. You see, I'll show you the other covers as well. So we have City of Bones. Oh my god, these have a lot of dust in them. Then we have, oh my god, look at how beautiful Isabel looks in the City of Fallen Angels. And then we have, which one is this? Yeah, the City of Lost Souls. Probably that's Alec, maybe. Not sure. Maybe. Anyways, yeah. Those are the Cassie Clare ones that I have. Then I have a very, very long series from Sarah J. Maas. I believe I've read all but the last 2 books, and I'm just going to put these in my read section because I know I don't have one of them, right? So I know that I'm going to get that one, the one which I don't have, and I'm going to read all of them again, right? So I have Throne of Glass, The Assassin's Blade, Empire of Storms, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows. Then I have some Holly Black. I have The Wicked King, The Cruel Prince, and again, for some reason, I have 2 of the Queen of Nothing. Then I have ones that I'm really excited for, and I think are going to be my next reads. I just ordered this series. I have Caraval, Legendary, Finale, Spectacular. Wow, beautiful cover. Again, 2 which I just ordered. I have The Book of Night by Holly Black and The Thief of Night by Holly Black. Again, 2 which I'm excited for, but I'm also a little bit sad because I didn't get the same covers that I wanted. I have Deadly Little Scandal and I have Little White Lies. Do you see the problem over here? We had another Little White Lies one which was blue, so a similar, this kind of blue, similar writing, and we had similar women were holding, like, these ones are holding shovels behind their backs. They were holding, like, I think scissors and surgical instruments, and this one was a letdown. I actually think I'm gonna order the one with the other cover. Now you're probably all wondering, where is Harry Potter? So I have, in a very, very sorry state, the 8 Harry Potter books. The first one is missing right now, but I have the 8 Harry Potter books, the 8th one too, The Cursed Child, and I also have another bonus book from J.K. Rowling, which is a Casual Vacancy, which is like, I think it was like a political book, right? I didn't like this book that much, but that's because maybe I was used to J.K. Rowling's writing being, you know, like Harry Potter, and it was not that. And there was also, I read this when I was fairly young, and I hadn't read that many kind of like rude books. No, I won't call it that. Books that have cursing in them. And I was definitely not expecting it from J.K. Rowling. Nope. The Goblet of Fire doesn't have its front cover. No. I have the front cover, but it's inside the book. right? So I have The Goblet of Fire, The Chamber of Secrets, whoa, The Prisoner of Azkaban, Order of Phoenix does not have a cover, The Half-Blood Prince, The Deathly Hallows, then The Cursed Child, and here we have The Casual Vacancy. I don't have the Philosopher's Stone. But anyways, what I'm going to do is that I am going to probably get rid of these books soon and get new covers. Speaking along those lines of similar books to these, fantasy, which need new covers, actually need a whole lot, like the whole series ordering, because I have the whole series in one 1040 page mammoth of a book, which is The Lord of the Rings. Look at it. Look at what's happened. All of the pages are apart. But I love this book so much. And if you ask me who is my favorite fantasy author, actually no, if you ask me who's my favorite author, I will say Tolkien. Tolkien's writing is to die for. It's amazing. Harry Potter, I know it's a beloved classic, beloved children's book, but it's nothing RB compared to The Lord of the Rings. However, I know this copy is like much loved and destroyed. I'm gonna get all of the different books in this series because I know there's a lot of beautiful copies of this out there. Then, guys, I have Babel. I believe this is historical fiction. Really, again, beautiful cover. And then I have a book series which my friends make a lot of fun of, which is the Shatter Me series. I have a really weird combination of these books, right? I've read about, I think, 3 of them. So I'm going to put 3 in red and then the rest in TBR. So I have, by weird combination again, I mean that I have a few books which have 2 of the novellas, 2 of the books in them, right? So I have Shatter Me, Destroy Me. My friends make fun of these by guessing, you know, like, oh, it's going to be like Terrify Me. It's going to be like, I don't know, Kill Me, this and that, right? Okay, then we have Unravel Me, Fracture Me, Ignite Me, Destroy Me, Find Me, Defy Me, Imagine Me, Believe Me, and Unite Me. Also, guys, what the hell is up with these covers? These are so disgusting, so unimaginative, and so off-putting. However, the series is nice. Then we have Red Queen. I also want to get the Selection series. And then, guys, I have 2 Percy Jackson books, The Lightning Thief and The Titan's Curse. Oh, wait, I just found The Kingdom of Ash as well, which I have. And The Hobbit. Very cute, nice book from J.R.R. Tolkien. Love it. And then, guys, I have 3 of the Narnia books. The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and The Horse and His Boy. I read all of these, maybe except the last one. No, I think I've read the last one too. Anyways, but I gifted them to someone else. And then I have Aragorn and Eldest. And then I just have Mockingjay. I don't have The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Yeah. Let's move on to mystery, which I definitely don't have enough of. We have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, some Agatha Christie books. So I have Sparkling Cyanide, Murder on the Orient Express, and The Body in the Library. Then we have the Khaled Hosseini books, A Thousand Splendid Suns, The Guy Turner, both of these I absolutely adore. And The Mountains I could have started to read, but I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't have to. And I'm also going to be ordering Cipra, right? And it turns out I have another one of Gail Forman, Leave Me. I just realized the Leave Me sounds like the Shatter Me series. Are you guys tired? Because I'm tired. Anyways, we are now going to be moving into one of my favorite sections, which is classics. So we're going to be starting with the great and one of my favorites, Charles Dickens books. Hard Times, Oliver Twist, David Copperfield, one of my favorites, The Pickwick Papers, A Christmas Carol, genuinely had to blow off a spider, but A Tale of Two Cities, Little Dorrit, and my absolute favorite, Bleak House. Then we have The Three Musketeers, Far from the Madding Crowd, Monte Cristo, Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre. Oh, this huge Anna Karenina. You look at that. Whoa, look at the size of it. Frankenstein, very nice book. A book which I have not read yet, Not for lack of like not wanting to, but because I just want to read it very slowly and I want to study each and every single bit of it. And also, guys, because it's really hard. This is one of the few books which I generally struggled with, which I had to actually like read notes, cliff notes, and spark notes, and this and that, and summaries, and actually analyze it and study it. And actually, even started making like actual notes as if it was like a textbook because it was that complicated. It's so complicated, guys. And that is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Okay, then I have an old book, which is not a classic, but it should be a classic, and I have heard absolutely no one talk about this book. Even on Goodreads, I think it has maybe like 4 or 5 reviews. I'm not sure, I don't remember. I think, yeah. But guys, this is such a beautiful book. I want more people to read it. I want like everyone to read it. It's such a beautiful book. I have read it like 2 or 3 times, and it is Goodbye Piccadilly by Betty Burton. It is such an amazing book. You all need to read it. And then I have Vanity Fair. Next, guys, I have For Whom the Bell Tolls, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Again, for some reason, I have 2 copies of a book which I don't like, but which I've heard I have to get through, which is Lord of the Flies. Ugh. Then I have The Catcher in the Rye. And then again, I have a book which I finished for a 7 and 7 challenge, which is Peter Pan, which I did not like, and also yuck to the cover. The most disgusting cover ever. Moving on, I will show you some of these classics which I have grown up reading, which I was very sad to find out were actually abridged versions that really broke my heart. But anyways, I have The Secret Garden, The Prince and the Pauper, Anne of Green Gables. I also actually have, I think this is the 4th installment in Anne of Green Gables, which is Anne of Windy Willows. But I have actually read like a lot of, I think there's probably 7 books, right? I have read the other ones too. And then I have Black Beauty, Alice in Wonderland, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, The Wizard of Oz, The Time Machine, The Wind in the Willows, Heidi, an absolutely beautiful book. And again, 2 of my favorite books, Journey to the Center of the Earth and Around the World in 80 Days. Then I have this book, which I haven't read, I just ordered it, but the cover is absolutely to die for. And that is The Happy Prince and Other Stories. It's so beautiful. It's actually really glossy, shiny, very beautiful. I have Hamlet. So I hate Shakespeare, but I know that people adore him, so I got just one really short one, Hamlet, to maybe try to get through it. Then I have Fahrenheit 451. I also want to get Brave New World because I somehow associate those 2 together. I have The Great Gatsby. I have this really cute book, which I think is very underrated, and it's called 3 Cups of Tea. It's actually situated in Pakistan. Very beautiful. Then I have 2 Jeffrey Archer books. As the Crow Flies, this book taught me so much about finance. A Prisoner of Birth. I want to get more Jeffrey Archer ones too. Then I have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And then I have this book, which I probably will never ever read. But I still have it, and it is Ghost Wars. I think this is probably about like the Cold War, but I don't think I'm gonna read it. It just doesn't seem, I started it once, but it just didn't seem at all my cup of tea. The Help, The Rainbow. And I have these 2 which I just want to read together because I want to see these 2 very stark contrasts talking about similar, I don't know, you'll get it when you see it. So we have Mein Kampf by Hitler, and then we have The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Then I also have Catch-22, Angels and Demons, The Da Vinci Code, and then my absolute favorite book. My favorite book. This is my favorite book, okay? I don't even know why. I don't know. I just feel like really nostalgic when I read it. And I have 2 copies of it, but I want to get many, many more. And that is To Kill a Mockingbird. Then the second one, which I didn't enjoy as much, but Go Set a Watchman. Also, The Handmaid's Tale, two books which I really want to read. 100 Years of Solitude. I've heard it's life-changing, but I'll see for myself. And then The Secret History. The Book Thief. Again, amazing, beautiful book. The Stranger. I recently again read this for 7 and 7. And this is a very one-in-a-kind book which everyone should read to broaden their perspective. Speaking along the lines of books that everyone should read, we have George Orwell or Eric Clear's 1984 and Animal Farm. Kafka on the Shore. Okay, now guys, we are gonna move into very classic section. And the reason why I have not read most of these is because actually, the reason why I have not read most of like all of those is because like I said before in this video, I want to do some sessions where I read all of the books of an author in one go, right? And like actually studying everything, studying the author, studying that time as well, studying literature around that time. So I have from Dostoevsky, The Idiot, White Nights, which I partially listened to the audiobook of, but then I paused it because I wanted to experience that by myself, reading it. Notes from the Underground, plus the double as well. Crime and Punishment, excited for this one. And The Brothers Karamazov. Moving on to Kafka. I have The Metamorphosis, Letters to the Father. I also ordered, I believe, Letters to Milena. The Trial, and finally, The Castle. Oh, and then I also am reading currently The Story of My Life by Helen Keller. Let's end the classics with a few other ones. I have Gone with the Wind. Again, another huge one. The Borrowers. I absolutely love this. A Little Princess. Again, a childhood favorite of mine. Gulliver's Travels, which I couldn't get through for some reason. Meditations. The Jungle Book. Again, I didn't like this one very much. I don't know anything about these, but I think these are going to be really mind-boggling ones. Pygmalion. Nostradamus, Visions of the Future. So I have Will Durant's The Pleasures of Philosophy and The Lessons of History, and I think there are others of Will Durant too. Andersen's Fairy Tales. Right. There's some of the miscellaneous books that I'm going to discuss. Probably some of them are classics, but I don't know that they are. Maybe we can also add the 40 Rules of Love and Why Nations Fail. But yeah, after this we're gonna move on. And if a book is a classic, but I don't know, just let me know in the comments. Okay, first, I'm gonna talk about 3 books from a writer that I really like, even though I've read just one. I've read Justin Gardner's The Orange Girl, but I just start reading Sophie's World, and then I also have The Solitaire Mystery. If you want to get into philosophy, but you don't want to read textbooks, then start with these. Your Guide to Philosophy. Now I'm going to go through some books which are very similar to me in my mind. Probably they're not similar, but in my mind. I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Also, although I don't own a copy of this, but I somehow, since I read these two at the same time and then one after the other, and I really enjoyed them, I also associate Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo with Daisy Jones and the Six. And then we have, if you could see the sun, As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows, The Stationery Shop of Tehran, and The Blind Women of Tehran. Next, I have Normal People by Sally Rooney. So I don't have it, but I read Conversations with Friends. That was very enjoyable as well. And then Colleen Hoover's Verity. And then I have this new romance book that I ordered because as you guys can see, I haven't read much of the mainstream romance, right? But I want to get into that. I've ordered a lot of others, but right now I have 3 Swedish Mountain Men. Moving on to Elif Shafak, There Are Rivers in the Sky, The Fleet Palace. I also have the 7 minutes something seconds or whatever in this world, but I have loaned that to a friend right now, so I don't have the copy of that. Next, guys, there's going to be some very, very random miscellaneous books. I have Hussein, The Saga of Hope. I really, really like this. I started reading it, I didn't finish it because it was so powerful that I wanted to take more time to digest it and research it. I have John Grisham's The Guardians, The Pelican Brief. Then I have Wonder Sleuths and Truths, 13 Reasons Why, The Lady's Maid, The Night Circus, Madagascar, The Eyes of Darkness, The Phantom Tollbooth, Tom's Midnight Garden, The 100 Most Influential Women of All Time, Paper and Fire, The Hate You Give, The Guest List, Spurious, When Breath Becomes Air. Then we have a book which I know absolutely nothing about, but I got it because its cover was pretty. And that is The South in Winter, writing Clementine. The Future of Us, Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. For some reason, when I got it, I thought that this was by Hank Green. And I was excited thinking I'd have a Hank Green book. But then I found out that it's by Tom Hanks. But I'm still interested to see what his perspective is, right? Because he's an amazing actor. And I have Sprig Muslin, How Not to Fall in Love, actually. Probably going to be a very brain rot kind of book. Speaking of brain rot, I have Two of a Kind Diaries, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's, Off With My Head, Love Story, The Best Train Set Ever, Manto Sahib, Bertrand Russell's unpopular essays as well, Sharp Objects, I have The Outcast, Arusha, and The End of Time. This is from one of my favorite movie series. I think it's the second book of his Dark Materials. So one of my favorite movies growing up was The Golden Compass, and this is the second one. This is the Subtle Night. And then The Life of Pi. I have my favorite Urdu Shah's Shayad. This was a gift from a very dear friend of mine. Moving on to two books which I will probably unhaul. Dachshund. This was, I started it, but it was an extremely undigestible book. And then The Report. Moving into talking about politics, I have Imran Khan's Pakistan, very nice book. I have, again, very nice one, In the Line of Fire. Challenge and Response to, I believe, the Kashmir Problem. Partition of India, Legend and Reality. The Sphere and Duties of Government. I found another substantial one, which is the complete Sherlock Holmes works. 3 Goosebumps. Which I'm definitely going to get rid of because I hate Goosebumps. I had a lot more, but I gave them away. Probably going to throw these ones away too because they terrify me. Then I have this Urdu one called Khawateen Ke Hukuk. Setting the East Ablaze. These are books that I just found. Pakistan's Foreign Policy. Computer Basics for Human Professionals. Pearls of Wisdom, which I took from a friend of mine. I have A Prayer for the Graduate of 2005 for some reason. Old Childhood, The Magic Purge Pot. Birds, Nests and Eggs. Snow White. Classic taste. I had a lot of these ones when I was a child. The Universe Beyond. And then of course I have the Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary. I have another one too. And I have this also another small dictionary. Now, the books which you guys are resting on top of right now. Let me remove them. I have... Oh, this one's more because you guys were resting on top of it. Alright, I have The Complete Adventures of Tom Kitten and His Friends. Really cute. Tell the Time with Teddy. Sure as Sunrise. A children's book of poems. I've used some of these to do some flower pressing. So I'm probably gonna get these flowers that I have in all these books. I'm probably gonna get them framed. The Piper of Dreams. Early Bird on Sesame Street. The Rainbow Fish. The Littlest Angel Meets the Newest Angel. Of the Art Treasury, which I got mainly because of my favorite painting being on the cover, Starry Night. And then I have Before the Internet, but it says internet linked, Children's Encyclopedia. Everyone should get a lot of encyclopedias for their kids. What did you guys think? I was gonna stop at this. There was a sale previously and I got, I believe, 35, 40 more books that I ordered. So they are also going to be a part of my TBR Takedown series. Alright, so guys, this is actually the final look of my read list. And then this is all of my TBR which we are going to take down, plus the books that I'm gonna get on order soon. I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it, although it's been like 3 or 4 hours probably. I'm sure you'll believe me, since I've been making it and I'm so tired. However, I had a lot of fun making it, and I had a lot of fun filming and making the TBR takedowns as well in Sherlock. Until next time, bye!